Today we're going to look at and review the PROFX12 mixer by Mackie. Now this mixer does have a built-in audio interface and it comes with Waveform OEM, which is above Waveform free. It has some extra plugins and some extra features. Also comes with 24-bit effects. And Mackie calls these effects the Gig FX effects engine, okay? And we're going to take it out of the box and we're going to test it and see what it can do. We'll plug it into the computer and we'll download Waveform and we'll get everything working. Now the stand that you're looking at right now is an additional purchase. I got the stand on Amazon. It doesn't cost a whole lot more money for these stands and they sell them in all different types of sizes. So right now let's go ahead and dive in it and we'll start with the unboxing. So let's just open it up and find out what's inside. I'll start with cutting right here and right there. And I'm just going to remove the outer cardboard packaging. And there's a lot of features that you can use this mixer for. If you look on the bottom of the box, you can see it's designed for recording music. It's got a built-in audio interface, 24-bit, 192 kHz, 2x4 USB interface. So I guess 2.0 interface, which is what the Behringer X32 has. It can also be used for like podcasts, live streaming, and it's budget. So, you're looking at about $350, $400. In addition to that, it comes with software, which is a Waveform OEM. Now there's a Waveform free version that's pretty good. So I don't know if this is like a full version of a Waveform OEM. And then it has some plug-in packages, looks like. So we can record and mix music, and we can use it for all kinds of things. Also, the preamps are the Onyx, the ONYX. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but they're supposed to be really good preamps. And it's got 24-bit effects also included in the board. So it's got a lot of different features. So now that we have it out of the cardboard box, you can see more or less what it looks like. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, we see right off the bat, here's our manuals. Looks like we have in back here is our, what is this? Okay, looks like we have a power cord and a USB cable for the audio interface section of the mixer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the take all this stuff out. Okay, we have the mixer unboxed, we have it plugged in, and now it's time to do just a little quick demo so you can see what this thing does. So right here in this corner, you can see this is our main outs, and we have 2 XLR outs, and we have 2 1/4-inch outs. And right now, this 1/4-inch out is going into the camera, and so everything that we plug into the mixer is going right directly into the video camera, so there's not going to be any editing of anything. So you're going to hear it directly. Below that is headphones, so I can hear what's going on. And then over here you'll see in channels 9 and 10 is the lapel mic input. Okay, so the lapel mic is plugged in here. 9 and 10 is being used for my lapel mic. So we're going to go over here real quick and we'll explain the channel strips. Okay, the first strip, number 1, has a combination XLR input and a 1/4-inch input in one little deal here. And below that we have a high Z button. So if you're plugging in an XLR input or a microphone cord, you're just going to leave this up. If you plug in a 1/4-inch jack, sort of like that, you're going to go ahead and put that down like so. Okay. Then beneath that we have an insert. This is for like an effects loop. And beneath that we have a low cut. So if you want to cut the low frequencies, just push that button in and you're good to go. Here's the gain if you need to boost. Okay. And below that we have a compressor. Then underneath that we have a 3-band EQ. Then underneath that we have 2 auxiliary knobs. This green knob controls an effects loop that's built into the mixer. This yellowish orange combination knob here controls all the built-in effects that are built into the mixer. So the reverb and the delay and all that stuff is controlled with this. And underneath that you have a pan, and then you have your mute button right there. Okay. If we go down a little bit lower, you will see our fader. And then we have assign buttons, 1, 2, left and right. And this is a solo button if we ever want to solo something. So channel 2 is a mirror of channel 1. It's exactly the same thing. When we get over channel 3, things begin to change a little bit. In channel 3, we have just your regular XLR input. Then below that, we have our unbalanced 1/4-inch jack input. Then, so there's no need for the switch. Okay. Then beneath that, we have our insert jack. So here's the line in referring to this, insert referring to this, and this is basically for an effects loop. Then over here, we have our low cut once again. So it's basically the same as these two channels, except for you have two different inputs instead of a combination of 2 and 1 input. Okay, we go down further. Here's our gain, our compressor, our EQ, and both auxiliary knobs, the pan, the mute, etc. We go over to track 4, and track 4 is a mirror of track 3, exactly the same thing. We go to track 5 and 6. This is a little bit different. We have our XLR input, then we have line in left, then line in right. This would be for like a stereo device, maybe a keyboard, or maybe some kind of multi-effects guitar pedal. You plug it right here into one channel, and then you have a low cut underneath that. You have a gain. The compressor is bypassed because we're dealing with some sort of a stereo effect and just a line-in signal. And then you have a 3-band EQ on top of that. Then below that are auxiliaries, the pan, and the mute for 5 and 6. So what they've done is, they say it's a 12-channel mixer. Well, 5 and 6 is combined into the same channel strip, and you have 2 inputs, so that's how they're calling it. 2 channels basically combined into 1 channel strip. Okay, then you have your assigns there. Now, the next channel strip, 7 and 8, mirrors that of 5 and 6, and then 9 and 10, which is what our lapel mic is plugged into. See right there? Okay, that also mirrors 7 and 8. So these 3 strips are identical. Now we get to channel strip 11 and 12. Okay, you can see our line in is an 1/8-inch jack, so like a music player or maybe a phone or something like that would plug into there. You have a USB switch for on and off. Okay, and then you have the gain, a gain knob for that, 3-band EQ. Then you have the auxiliary knobs again, the pan, the mute, and the fader, all that stuff. Then you come down over here, and you can see our main out, which is right here. And here's a sub out, so if you want to go to a set of subs, you can do that as well. Okay, and then here's the effects, so you can control the amount of effect. Okay, so left and right is in conjunction with our outputs for our mains. Our outputs for our mains are left and right, and then 1 and 2 is referencing up here, as you can see. I'll zoom in a little bit, get a little bit closer. So 1 and 2 is referencing our sub out 1 and 2. So whenever we see 1 and 2, we're talking about the sub out. So you can have another group of speakers right here. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom back in. Okay, so that's basically the mixer in a nutshell. Let's go over here. We're just going to zoom into this area. This is our effects section right here. To change the effects, you just dial it in like that, get the number you want, press the button, and that goes to number 11. And just go back to 1, just go back to 0, 1. Push it in, and we're now back on a bright room, which is a reverb. If you want to bypass all the effects, all you have to do is do that. That turns all the effects off. And the blend, this deals with the music when you're using this as an audio interface. This will adjust the volume of the music that plays back while you're overdubbing. And then you can send this signal to the phones if you want to do that. Here's your main headphone volume, and here's your control room volume. If you want to have another set of speakers set up to be a control room, you could do that if you have a separate room. So that's basically the mixer in a nutshell. Pretty simple to get around, actually. Pretty simple to understand. We're going to go over here, and we're just going to plug an acoustic guitar in. And you can hear my guitar. We're not through the mixer yet. We're going to put the high Z input on because it is a 1/4 inch jack. We're going to put the low cut on. Okay, we're going to raise up the fader. Go down here, you can see. Raising up the fader. And then our assign button, left and right, this will send a signal to the mains. 1 and 2 will send a signal to the control room out or sub speakers. What we're going to do is we're going to adjust our gain. And some compression. So now you should hear this through the mixer. Okay. Get a little bit more here. Let's adjust the EQ and just kind of fix this. We'll just make everything flat. See what that does. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. So now the next thing we want to do is send some effects into our acoustic guitar. So what we're going to do is just going to take this and go to the middle, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to where our effects are. And we're just going to raise our volume up a little bit. Boy, you can hear maybe some effects there. Lots of effects. So you can control the volume of the effects with this. Make it a little bit lower here. Okay, well, let's try a different type of effect here. And let's go to 9, which is a small plate. Flip on 9 here. I'll adjust the volume of the heater a little bit more. Okay, and if you want to, if you turn this down, you'll notice over here, I guess. So I just turned down the volume of the yellow auxiliary, and I'm not sending any signal to the effects. And if I turn it up, where are the effects? Okay, let's go ahead and go down a little bit more. There we go. See what that sounds like. Okay, and we also have chorus, which is 10 and 11. Give that a shot. Okay. Then also let's try delay. We'll do 16. Is one of the delays. There's 16. There's 3 different delay settings in here. That right. Turn it up a little bit. So our Mackie PROFX12 mixer can also be used as an audio interface, as we discussed earlier. Currently, I have it plugged into my HP computer, laptop actually, and it can be used in conjunction with that. We can use programs like OBS, which will allow you to stream to Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and other online sources. And you can use the Mackie mixer to handle all of the audio. And so it's great for that. But also we have Waveform 12. So this mixer comes with Waveform 12, the OEM version, as you can see. Okay. And then we can just load a project real quick, which is what we're going to do. Okay. And then we'll just go ahead and play it. And this is going to play back through the Mackie mixer. Okay, we have a welcome screen over here, and we can load templates. So if you want to do a podcast, you can load that template. If you want to record a band, you have that template right here. If you're doing beats, or if you just want to write a song, you have a template for that as well. And so Waveform OEM is actually a pretty decent version, and it's basically everything you're probably going to need for recording music. So the main reason why I purchased this mixer is I can use it to play out with, and I can play small clubs. I don't have to bring the Behringer and the whole rack mount of effects with me and the massive amount of gear. So I can set up within 15 minutes, be ready to go. And then after I'm done, I can tear down in 15 minutes and be heading home. The other thing is I'll use it for recording YouTube videos. I can go on location or other areas, and I can use the mixer to help me record the audio. So it'll serve those needs, but you can also use it as audio interface for recording music. You can use it for podcasts. You can use it for streaming live. There's a whole host of applications you can use this mixer for. So I think it's a pretty good mixer. I've run it through some tests, and I'm going to get some good use out of it. But that's going to be it for this video, and I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to thank you for liking, and I'm going to thank you for subscribing. That really helps me out, helps the YouTube algorithm, and it encourages me to make more of these videos. I'm Marcus Curtis from Marcus Curtis Music. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.